So I'm going to do this one a little bit raw because why not? A little line noise on this mic. It'll probably be the last time I use it, maybe. Um, because I'm getting new toys. It's Christmas. I love Christmas. It's awesome. So, everybody else has talked about it a little bit. I've tried to avoid this subject for a while because it's not over yet. But it looks like we're about to the end. Really close to the end. And it's time to chime in and what I think about all this crap and why I walked away from the Democratic Party. The culmination of the last 3 years in particular are the reasons why I left. The regressive takeover, the primarying of people out of their own seats just so they can get power, the abuse of power, the straight up megalomaniacal behavior of their leadership are all reasons I left. Being a doctor of organizational leadership myself, not to play that appeal to authority shit, but I mean, what can be said? I do know a thing or two about leadership in general, right? I am published and cited, so I can claim to know a thing or two, right? At least I hope so. I mean, I spent almost 10 years of my life studying this shit. What they have done here is demonstrated their eager and earnest convictions to regain power. With Obama, and the first half of Obama in particular, they exercised that power to put as much socialism in that they possibly could at the time they had it, in addition to their social justice reforms. And it got worse. Race relations went straight sideways. We saw Black Lives Matter spawn out of the ether and just decide to say killing cops is a great idea. Shit got bad. Shit went weird. The vice president, the first lady saying shit that like, I live in a house built by slaves. I can't believe I'm here. I'm like, bitch, you're the first lady of this country. What the hell are you complaining about? I'm in a house built by slaves. Yeah, you are. So the fuck what? Are you supposed to feel sad for your shit? You're stepped into the freaking power seat of the free world and you want to cry about it? This is the kind of shit that I can't stand. And then these people decide to say, the white people, they're white and privileged and they really hold the power, but we're oppressed because reasons. It's like, this is also why Obama said, don't go too far left, guys. You're going to kind of screw things up. Too little too late, Obama. You helped make this shit. I voted for that man. Twice. I figured the first setup was because Bush Jr. fucked everything up, because he's also a retard. And then the second term, I was like, well, he didn't quite get in everything he wanted, so give him a second chance. Why not? He could probably do what he promised the second time, right? Nope, he did not. In fact, he killed kids. It was horrible. It was tragic. It was stupid. And then we get to crazy-ass Trump. I think he's an asshole. I think he's a dick. I think the things he says are dumb. But he's pretty clever in a very sarcastic and maniacal way. Egotistical, to say. A lot of people call him a narcissist. That's because they don't know what a narcissist is. He's not a narcissist. He would not do self-deprecating humor if he was a narcissist. There would not be humor coming out of that guy's mouth. He's an egotist. Which in some cases is actually worse because they're self-centered, self-centric. They only care about themselves. But with a narcissist, everything has to fit into their perfect view of the world. And if it doesn't, they get angry, go into rage, flip the fuck out. I mean, mad. Narcissists also usually happen to be wife beaters, just to give you an idea of how bad it gets with these people. They're fucking crazy. Egotists, however, think their shit always smells like roses. I think that's the best way to put it. Anyways, all that being said, 3 years we listened to them say, my Russia, Russia this, Russia did that. I'm like, we don't have a Cold War anymore, you fucking crazy people. Stalin is dead. Gorbachev's coup failed. He came back in power. People wanted the democracy and freedom. And when the stupid, crazy bastard communists tried to take it back, the people revolted. In case you missed it, they charged fucking tanks so they wouldn't go back to that life again. Thanks to Gorbachev. And Gorbachev regained power during Reagan's era. And Reagan said, Gorbachev, please take down that wall. He's talking about the freaking Wall of Berlin. Speaking of which, I do have a piece of the Berlin Wall from a friend of mine that went to Germany. Coolest shit I ever had. I watched that on TV go down. It was pretty fucking epic. I loved it. Anyways, so I'm watching these people go batshit crazy over a guy with a bad mouth. But what has he done? Abuse of power, they claim? How? Did he use, like Obama, and spy on people? Did he use the leverage like Clinton had to go and use the freaking FBI to investigate Trump during his campaign? Spy on him during his campaign? Just because she happened to have leverage on people, probably? She knew some dirty shit, and so she used it? Was it Trump that insulted half of America, or was that Clinton? I think the only thing that Trump has insulted so far is the leadership of the Democrats. And telling Democrats you need to stop voting for these people. Because they're fucking crazy. And I happen to agree. So I think what it comes down to, now that they have passed impeachment, so he's impeached. It's up to the Senate to remove him from office. They will do their due diligence. Second part of this, obstruction of Congress. No such thing. They're not a judicial branch. They do not have jurisprudence and jurisdiction to be obstructed. They are not a court. They are a judicial branch up against the executive branch. The executive branch being the ones that make the decisions, the final decisions. Judicial branch, the ones making the laws. The only ones that can be obstructed, God, wish I could speak, is the, I'm sorry, they're the legislative branch. What the hell am I talking about? I know where I was going with it, and I already said it. The judicial branch can be obstructed. You know, the Supreme Court and friends, the court system, they can be obstructed. You can obstruct justice. You can obstruct the judicial system. You cannot obstruct Congress, the legislative system. Their job is to make laws. Maybe do investigations. Not hold court. Their job is not to hold court. If they really wanted their subpoenas to go through, Trump could say no. Absolutely. That's not obstruction. He could say no. And what needs to happen then is they go to the judicial branch and say, hey, can you enforce this for us, please? And then that side can decide yes or no. They didn't. Why? Because it's now in Trump's favor. Sort of. Because Kavanaugh is not 100% in his court. But after what they did to him, they're not willing to go there. They burned that bridge. That's why they didn't go to the judicial branch. Kavanaugh was another freaking problem. Another symptom of this crazy train that we've been watching. They tried their damnedest to burn him at the stake with allegations that were bullshit. Everybody knew this bitch was lying. She's a doctor, for crying out loud, and she should have known better. Doctor of psychology, of all things. She made the rest of us doctors look bad. Just by the display she put on. She got up in front of everybody and fucking lied. Her own friends and family, everyone that she knew that had been around her for her entire life said, no, that never happened. She's making this shit up. And then she wins some fucking award for being brave? Please. There was nothing brave about lying in front of everybody. She perjuried herself. But she's not going to get prosecuted because she's the darling friend of those people running that little committee. Speaking of which, if they wanted to prosecute her for perjury, the judicial branch would have to execute that. Speaking of as well, that's how Clinton, Sir Clinton, not Mrs. Clinton, got removed from office. It wasn't him getting his dick sucked by an intern. It was him lying about it to Congress. And because he lied about it, that's technically perjury to Congress, which is a crime, which can then be determined to be enforceable. But the only punishment they can carry out is removal from office. They can't assign jail time or prison sentences because they are not the judicial branch. The separation of powers is here for a reason, and these dumb sons of bitches forgot that that's there for a reason. They want all the power. They had all the power for 8 years under Obama. They could do whatever the hell they wanted through that FISA court. They could make shit up and give it to them, and they'd do it. They had the FBI in their pocket. If they wanted something investigated, they'd just drop a hint, and they'd go do it. The court system was all in their favor. There was nothing that could touch them. Then one died. Another one's going to die, and then Trump came along, and the rest of us voted their asses out because we're sick of this shit. So guess what's going to happen in the next coming months? I read it in the Washington Times, I think it was, or the New York Times. I hate those. I hate reading their shit, but I couldn't resist on this one. I read something that pretty much showed me exactly what I was thinking. Some of the Democrats said, hey, hold on a second. Maybe we shouldn't rush to vote for impeachment because we didn't do a full due diligence on here. There's some things we should look into before we go full bore on this. And Pelosi, of course, and friends said, no, we got to impeach him. It's a moral imperative. Yeah, they've been plotting this shit for years. Of course they're going to do it. But it also showed their cowardice. They already knew that this wasn't the right thing to do. They were just trying to push it back and try to give a little leverage and think that they had leverage over the Senate with the Republican-run Senate. No, they don't. You don't got shit. You got a sham. You got fake news. You've got lies. You've got nothing. What's going to happen next is equally nothing. He's going to get pardoned. They're going to abstain from charging him with anything. And he's not going to get removed from office. And he will not be barred from running another term. He will be put into 2020. And what you've done is assured this. So if you wanted power back, it's not going to happen. And I hope that in the midterms, 2022, that we can get enough people out to vote then too. In fact, what I think should happen is for Trump, this would be a positive thing for Trump to do, I think. Not that I'll ever hear this video because YouTube is a garbage site now. Like, I had good growth up until they started changing their shit around, and then all of a sudden everything went to stop. It's ridiculous. But what I think Trump should do is declare midterm and general and the full term elections national holidays. You have this day off to vote. Go do it. A lot of people still won't. They'll do things that they want to. And then the states should do the same, but it's up to the state to do that. You can't make it a federal holiday. Excuse me. But they could follow suit and make state holidays so you don't have to go to work. Or the alternative is to keep the voting booths open till midnight. I mean, give people a chance to go and vote. Because right now it's like closed at 7 or 8, and people get off of work at like 5 or 6. So you got like an hour to go. And some people say like, go in your lunch break. I was like, no way in hell. I'm going to eat on my lunch break. I'm not going to go vote on my lunch break. You crazy? Anyways, all they've done this entire time is the reason why I've left. I was on their side until they started going super crazy. When they started saying racist shit. I'm done with you at that point. But I don't hang around racists. I don't associate with them. I switched to the Republicans. I would have went libertarian because that more aligns to what I think and what I believe. But then I don't get a say. That's why I didn't go there. If I join at least one of the major parties, at least I can vote for or against. I have a voice at that point. To not join a major party is to not have a voice. We don't have multi-party system here. It'd probably be beneficial for us to have a third party at this point in time, for us middle American people that are not crazy left or crazy right, but like a middle party for the majority, basically, because most people sit right about in the middle. But I don't see that happening. So, for anybody wondering about the little scratch upon my head, I was at jiu-jitsu last night, and I went to go flip someone, and he just decided to tuck his head and headbutt me right in the face. It was pretty awesome. Blood all over the place. It's a head injury. What do you expect? So, anyways, that's all I have for this guy. A little bit raw. I thought I'd just put this one straight out there. I'm not going to edit it. Not going to put any fun stuff on it. And see how it goes. I mean, if Sticks can do it, so can I. And all he does is upload raw shit, so why not? I'm sick of putting production value into my stuff only to have it shut the fuck down. I mean, I do take a little pride in what I do, but I don't upload often enough, I guess. I don't have hundreds of thousands of people following me. I don't have thousands of views. YouTube killed it all. Growth went to zero. I have zero motivation to do this shit anymore. And with their new policies and procedures, because I'm not commercially viable, I'm a nobody, I expect to be just swept away under the rug. No motivation. I'll find a different way to put my voice out there. Maybe I'll restart my podcast because I had more listeners there than I do have YouTube viewers. But I digress. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you next time. Hopefully this won't be here.